Welcome to Doom Scroll Patrol, the show where we doom scroll so you don't have to. Today we are talking about big peace plan in the Middle East because Trump, hooray! Some Nazis in a group chat have been leaked, and it turns out they're Republicans. And also, Alaska, part of it is underwater, and no one's paying attention to it. I'm Aaron Hagee McKay.
I'm Harold Moss.
I'm Hannah Snape.
I'm Sam Perez.
Stick around, you're not going to want to miss this one.
It's going to be great.
I have been out of the loop for a while, but then I heard that Donald Trump has brought peace to the Middle East. Finally, he has solved something, and he is entirely to credit. I don't like Donald Trump in a lot of ways, but hey, if he brings peace to the Middle East, I haven't read a thing about this at all. So the context is, I assume that he's entirely correct.
And everything is resolved.
Hey, can't we all just get along? And then, Hamas and Benjamin Netanyahu started to cry and hug, and then they gave each other lip kisses.
Obama was there.
Yeah.
A grandstand seat here to one of the most momentous events in the history of science.
They're actually going to give him 3 Nobel Peace Prizes next year.
Yeah, it's the Ultra Nobel Peace Prize. It's the Super Noble.
The Super Noble. Actually, they're going to be calling it the Chernobyl Peace Prize.
The Chernobyl Peace Prize.
Harold made a joke.
Save that one for the actual nuclear peace that we're going to have. In seriousness, this is a big deal that they have stopped fighting. They have brought back. They're exchanging the hostages and the people that some of them are remains, and that's pretty gruesome. But for the most part, this is a great news story because I guess as you said, the Onion headline of Israel goes back to killing Palestinians slower. What was it again? Sorry, I fucked up the joke.
It's basically that they promised to go back to killing Palestinians at a slower rate.
Yeah, killing Palestinians at a slower rate again.
But at the same time, hey, at least, maybe this is a point where people can start rebuilding. There's a whole, they're trying to bring in people to was it the word that they're using? Technocrats, from regional technocrats to be like, how the fuck do we rebuild this? There's a lot that remains unanswered. And it does seem like,
First of all,
Donald Trump is the man who's going to have the will and the focus to make sure that this goes through and they rebuild the Riviera they always wanted to rebuild.
Which will have no Palestinians in it, which is still Donald Trump's vision. So let's be clear that this is so yes, it's a ceasefire. First of all, this is not a peace deal. It's a ceasefire and a very vague agreement.
I mean, the last ceasefires, they were still killing a lot of people.
Well, this ceasefire, they're still killing people.
Yeah.
And they're still burning down homes in the West Bank and Gaza where there is no Hamas, right? So it's a ceasefire. It's a deal. It is to be welcomed because babies are not currently being bombed and burned to death in tents.
And some
individuals
trucks are coming in now. There's some aid coming in.
There's some people are still getting killed by Israeli snipers every day. Journalists getting killed still. The few journalists left are still having targets on them, and Israel is limiting the aid still. So they're not actually
journalists are still not allowed in, I believe.
Right. So absolutely to be welcomed that bombs aren't dropping on babies today. I think, yes, in any world, that is thumbs up, right? And why was it that Donald Trump was able to do it? Well, partly it's because Netanyahu actually crossed Trump's line, which is Qatar gave Donald Trump $1 billion airplane that he's just going to keep. Donald Trump is letting Qatar open up air bases in the United States, something that's never happened before. And then Netanyahu dropped bombs on Qatar trying to kill Hamas leadership. And that was probably the point where, because Trump is all about dominance game, that's the only thing he knows how to play. And it was like he crossed a Trump line, and it seems to be the thing that pushed him to be like, all right, enough of this fucking shit. I'm supposed to be the peace president, and I want my Riviera. Let's go.
Qatar, I love how it's the corruption of the Qatari oil government being like, here's a whole bunch of bribes, and then like basically, apparently, what you're telling me is that Netanyahu crossed the line of fucking up Qatar shit, and he's like, no, those guys gave me money.
And they gave me $1 billion airplane. And how much money has been funneled in through Trump coin? And, Trump's made billions since January through his crypto scheme. And the crypto scheme is just a bank account for bribes. It's just like, it's a big piggy bank. Anyone in the world can give him as many untraceable millions, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they have been doing it in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And Qatar is one of them. The $1 billion airplane was just like the warming gift.
The thing that's crazy to me is it kind of worked. Like he's protecting Qatar now. Maybe fucking Canada should get on this. Why are we not bribing him? I don't know.
That's true.
That's what we should do. Everyone should bribe him.
Everyone should just bribe him.
What is happening with that cat?
I don't know. He's just old and fat. Sorry.
I'm too old and too fat.
There's every obvious cynical, every cynical thought one has about what this is going to play out like.
So you're not hopeful, is what you're saying?
I am grateful that bombs aren't dropping on babies today in Gaza. I am absolutely grateful. I am not happy that X number of hundreds of thousands are already dead. Right? We don't know the total number. I don't know if we'll ever know. But it's in the hundreds of thousands. It's not the 60,000 that somehow people were saying 5 months into the war and that just stayed there. No, it's hundreds of thousands of people have died.
And the level of destruction is fucking insane.
It's flat.
You look at the pictures like this. How does anyone live in this?
Yeah. And they're still restricting food aid and they're still shooting people and they're still killing journalists. They're doing it at the Onions at a slower rate. And they're not planning on changing the plan about ethnic cleansing Gaza. This is a step in and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has been developing real estate plans for, the Riviera in Gaza.
It is weird how Jared Kushner's back in on this shit. And
he's never been out of it.
He's never really been out of it.
He's bringing in Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is supposed to be.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he's supposed to be
climate hero. Leonardo DiCaprio is.
Yeah, who made Blood Diamond because he wanted to bring attention to all the bad stuff that was happening.
You are here to help us in our struggle against the government.
I'm here to do business with Commander Zero. All right.
It's an Israeli luxury hotel project partnering with Leonardo DiCaprio. And it's supposed to be what did he call it? An eco-friendly resort. Apartheid Israel.
No.
Are they recycling the bones of the babies that it's built on top of? I mean, is that the eco-friendliness?
No.
I used to love him so much when I was a small person. He was
I just watched him in his new movie, and I was like, man, he's so great. He's awesome. He
is a good actor. I'm not going to.
And then I read this a couple days ago, and I was like, oh god. So
eco-friendly resort in fucking. Oh my god, that's. I'm actually really glad I don't like his acting because
Well, I was thinking.
I want hot dogs, Mom.
How about pretzel?
Yeah, I took down all my Gilbert Grape posters the other day.
I will never find out what's eating him.
We no longer care.
Yeah, so.
Well,
cool.
If I have some numbers and stuff about.
Great. Are they depressing?
Yes.
Excellent.
Okay. Our favorite kind of numbers.
Okay. Well,
where are you getting them from?
I have a few different articles that I pulled things from. A lot of it, depending on what realm of the political spectrum they're from. The wording is very different. So I just tried to get independent sources. But I have a little overview.
It's ChatGPT, isn't it?
No.
Fine, I want to hear the numbers. What's the numbers?
Yeah.
What are your internet numbers?
Okay, so of those freed, they include 1,700 Palestinians that Israeli troops seized from Gaza during the 2-year war and have held without charge.
Which they call prisoners, but they're obviously hostages.
There is they aren't charged with anything. They're just hostages. Among those were 250 Palestinians sentenced to prison terms, most of them convicted for deadly attacks on Israel, dating back decades. Now that's from one article. And then another wording, according to data obtained by Al Jazeera, all but 9 of these prisoners are from the West Bank, and 157 of them are members of Fatah, the party that controls the Palestinian Authority governing parts of the West Bank. 65 are from Hamas, and the rest are from smaller political factions. So I'm sure some of them were involved in conflicts that resulted in Israeli deaths, but it's just interesting to see the wording. People convicted of deadly attacks, and then they're kind of just political figures. Israel was expecting a total of 28 bodies to be returned. I think they've received 8 now.
And that's one of the excuses they're using from withholding aid.
Yes.
Like if you don't bring back all the bodies from the place that
From
we
the
leveled.
rubble?
From the rubble.
Right.
I mean, clearly what it is some of these people, we will continue to starve you if, because we leveled everything to rubble, you can't find the corpses that we probably killed in our airstrikes, right? Mm-hmm. Israel, first of all, if people don't know, on October 7th, a lot of those bodies of Israelis were killed by Israelis. This is just, we don't know the exact number, but
on October 7th?
Oh yeah, because the Hannibal Directive, the Hannibal Directive is on October 7th. No, on October 7th.
Yeah, during the attack.
They've what the Hannibal Directive, although they claim they weren't following that, is you kill Israelis so they can't become hostages. And a lot of the people on the road were killed in ways that the Palestinians could not do. They were killed from attack helicopters and missiles and just massive. So we don't know the numbers, but a lot of the people on October 7th were killed by Israel. That is not kooky conspiracy land. We don't know the full number, but they did that because they preferred corpses over hostages.
Right.
Hannibal Directive. They named it after a fucking psycho killer from a movie? What the fuck?
No, it's not Hannibal Lecter.
The kidnapping must be stopped by. This is Wikipedia. Kidnapping must be stopped by all means, even at the price of striking or harming our own forces. Wow.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So a lot of October 7th was also Israel, and just it needs to be said over and over and over and over again because the propagandists keep doing this. There were no beheaded babies. There wasn't rape. All of that was just quickly disproven lies used to justify the genocide. So, but sadly, we need to keep correcting the record because the lies are, coming from the New York Times, and they never retract that shit. Anyway, sorry, Hannah. Continue with the numbers.
Right. Okay. And so there's been 20 living hostages returned to Israel from Hamas. By the way, I haven't seen. I don't know. I haven't checked it, but I haven't seen any major reports or firsthand accounts of those hostages being in poor condition. While many of the hostages returned from Israel to they were in very poor condition. They all had reports of incredible violence and torture while they were.
They were all tortured. The bodies had
they
bullets
look like
between
Auschwitz victims.
They look like Auschwitz
I
victims.
have some
they were
more here.
And there was a lot of executions of the bodies, bullets between the eyes. I mean, this is everything that Israel was claiming. Now, when Hamas returned hostages that hadn't been blown up by Israel in the genocide, those hostages tended to be better fed than anyone else in Gaza. They hadn't been traumatized. They hadn't been raped. One of these things that the Zionists have been claiming is, there's no female hostages left. They're all dead. No, Hamas actually released all the living female hostages earlier in one of the earlier deals.
Yes.
That was news when it happened. That was
right, and they're still kind of trying to make it.
That was well popularized,
right? But that doesn't matter. The lies keep cropping up. The rape has been done by Israel against it, and as a form of torture and against the male hostages. Whatever, everything that they've claimed Hamas was doing is exactly what Israel has been doing.
And also in other ceasefires, I think the other two major ones, when they released the hostages, Israel then recaptured some of those same people that they released. But anyways, I have a little overview of the bodies that were returned from Israel. Israel has transferred at least 90 bodies of dead Palestinians in the week since the ceasefire was announced. Officials on Tuesday said they expect a total of 450 bodies to be handed over, but Israeli officials have not said how many are in its custody or how many will be returned. A forensic team confirmed they all show signs of physical abuse, having hands and feet tied, some with blindfolds, and some bodies showing signs of torture and execution. I don't know if anyone saw the video or coverage of the one man who his hands and feet were tied and he was likely run over by a tank or some large vehicle.
Ugh.
And
Again, everything they claimed, like throwing people off of roofs, Hamas didn't do that. That's what Israel did.
Right.
Human shields, they were literally tying people to the fronts of tanks. Israel was.
Yeah,
everything that they accused.
I also saw a few videos of one of the hostages who were released, one of the Palestinian hostages, had his eyeballs taken out. I didn't check the source. I just saw the video of the guy. So,
and we have to be careful because there's disinformation all over the place,
yes.
And that's why one needs to be careful because there are even well-intentioned people who would be posting out-of-date videos and claiming it's now, and it was from 5 years ago, and there's intent to lose credibility by people's credibility by posting,
Yes. But there is legitimate.
So we're not playing the video for you.
Abuse. No.
Well,
no.
I don't think we need to play that video.
No.
Anyway.
We're not playing this video, right?
I'm not
We're not
playing any
video.
videos of any of this because I've seen some.
I mean, I think we can. I think we could show
some
some
shit
of the,
you just can't unsee.
I think we can show some of the maybe a clip of some of the hostages being returned and the conditions between the two because that's.
Yeah, this is newsy stuff. This is like
well, and that's not horrifying in the same way, but we don't need to traumatize people on this podcast any more than we already do.
Yeah, this is not the Trauma Scroll Patrol.
It's just doom.
Yeah, that's my new podcast.
Yeah.
Wait until you see the trauma I'm packing.
There was the question, like, all the Trumpists are now being like, why aren't people out in the streets celebrating? It's because Trump did it. It's like, no, because probably 500,000 people are dead that shouldn't be dead. They are continuing to shoot people. Their plans for ethnic cleansing of Gaza continue. This didn't start on October 7th, and the horrible conditions for Palestinians are not going to be better than they were before October 7th. It's not exactly a celebratory moment. It's a moment of relief that today, at least, Israel isn't bombing babies in tents. It is genuine relief. I am grateful that today, can't speak for tomorrow, but today, Israel is not dropping bombs on babies in tents. Hooray. That is not
Joe
exactly
Biden
a
have done
dance
this?
in the street. Joe Biden could have done this on October fucking 9th. Joe Biden could have ended this the next day. Israel could not have carried out this genocide without the regular support of the bombs. The bombs got onto jets, possibly near me, because I've got an Air National Guard that has all these big fucking jets a mile away from me, and I see them fly them over. I'm like, I wonder if they're carrying bombs to kill kids in Gaza. If we didn't put bombs regularly on planes, fly them over, get them out, and they would not have had the bombs to drop. Joe Biden could have stopped it the second he wanted to.
Slay Queen.
Sorry, I let
it's
the
so
lid off my
frustrating.
vat of rage.
No, it's great. It's great. It's that's fine. That's great. It's just so fucking annoying that the Democrats are fighting themselves when there are literal Nazis on the other side. Literal, like if they're worried about anti-Semitism, there's literal Nazis in the fucking Republican Party, which is probably a good segue into the group chat that got leaked by Politico.
Oh, those kids and their jokes.
The kids and the lulz. They're just being Nazis for the lulz, apparently.
Well, and also, introduce the story. Sorry.
Sure. So, Politico had this fun exclusive where they got the group chat between the New York Young Republicans. There's like 12-ish people, like maybe something like that. I probably should have written it down somewhere, but there's a handful of New York Republicans. They're young Republicans, but that's anything between 18 and 40. So a lot of these people are like, 31, 35. Like, some of them are in their 20s, but like, let's be clear. You look at the pictures of them; they look worse than I do, and I am
if they're
39.
20, it's a hard ass 20.
That's a hard. Some of these people are a hard 35.
Yeah.
Like you look at the main guy who started this group chat. Peter. I think it's Guinta. Giunta. I'm sorry if I mispronounced the Nazi.
I'm sorry.
I'm disrespectful. I love Hitler in a group chat. Maybe taken out of context. I don't know.
Well, we also have to see. Have you seen a picture of the dude? I'm going to put him in the chat.
Yeah. Well, we'll show a picture for those of you who are watching on YouTube. You can see the guy, but it's like he looks severely. That's a hard 35. That's let's just
he looks
put it
older
that way.
than me, and I'm like 400.
Yeah. My point is, it's like hate ages you is all I'm going to say. So yeah, 2,900 pages of texts on Telegram, because they're, I guess, very pro-Russian or something. Who the fuck uses Telegram? Maybe that's a problem. But yeah, they just sort of like just go. It's like a little 4chan thread that never stops the party, and they all know who each other are. So yeah, they got things like rape is epic, apparently, and let's joke about gassing people.
Everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorsed but then votes for us is going to the gas chamber.
Yeah, can we fix the shower? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. Ha ha ha! I'm ready to watch people burn now. Ha ha ha! Yeah. And again,
there's not
Hitler.
There are a couple of these people are in the administration also. So like,
there's one of them who's actually in the administration. Yeah. One of them is, he's kind of like lower down or whatever, but he's literally in the administration.
Was he the one with the Nazi flag in the American flag, like the stripes? I saw that one.
That's a different thing.
I'm glad there's so many fucking Nazis in our country.
Hey guys,
we
by
can
the
get
way,
them mixed up.
Well, I saw another Confederate flag yesterday. They're back.
Oh God!
Wait, aren't you back in Canada?
Yes.
You saw a Confederate flag?
Have you never been to Alberta?
I have, but it's been a while. I've seen Confederate flags in Canada, and it's always so it's so weird. Yeah. It is so weird. It's like, this is not your fucking fight, dude.
Well, but they want to get in on the Nazi fun. Yeah.
And
yeah, pardon the little Canadian little digression there, but like, your toxic culture has infected ours for some reason.
I'm ruining it.
Funny, I was talking with my niece the other day, and she's like, "Are we in danger of, when we call everyone a Nazi, are we draining it of meaning, and it just becomes kind of like the every argument devolves into it?"
That's a legitimate concern.
That's a legitimate concern, but we've transcended it because they are now literal. I mean, they are openly glorifying being Nazis, and Stephen Miller quotes Goebbels. It's like, we've passed that Rubicon.
Like I just said, when Aaron's bringing up the story of Nazis, I'm like, oh, is it this other Nazi? And they're like, no, that's another Nazi.
Well, and that was like last week.
It's becoming a fucking problem.
It's becoming a fucking problem. And Stephen Miller quoting Goebbels, and actually Trump even realizes that Stephen Miller's is like too far, because there was one point to be like, what was the exact quote he said? He's like, well, nobody really thinks, well, except for Stephen Miller, that might be a bit too much. Like, he's like, even Trump in his decay.
I don't like renting out to them, but
it's just like, he knows he's a literal
really
fucking
wants
Nazi.
To kill them.
Am I a Nazi, or am I a guy who throws hissy fits?
So part of this story is like, infighting between the person who's at the center of this accuses another young Republican of leaking it to Politico, and again, not as young as you might think.
Whatever.
Especially J.D. Vance was just like, he dismissed it, refused to condemn it, and said like, "Oh, that's just what the kids do," or whatever the fuck that.
Frat boys making jokes, basically. That was
and
defense.
It's like, bro, these people are 5 years younger than you. Yeah. You are 41.
Yep.
That's what the kids are up to.
This is what the kids are up to. Like, this is not a huge generation gap.
No.
I mean, I'm in my 20s, and I feel that there's a huge gap from me and anyone
in the other direction. Yeah, these are the olds.
Yeah, these people are too old.
Yeah, those are
We
old.
have an official young person on the podcast who confirms that these young Republicans are in fact the olds.
There you go.
I'm young and I'm inexperienced.
But yeah, think of any sort of racial epithet. It's probably in there.
It's probably in there. Yeah,
I think they have.
Can't miss one.
What was those? 251 times they had. The
N-word?
They had the word, the N word, the I guess FAG. Well, I don't know. How much are we censoring this? I don't want to say these things and get like dinged by YouTube.
Well, I
by
just also
reporting
don't
the
really.
thing that these people are saying.
I think we can just use the slurs and the N word, and let's not ever use
Yeah, I don't want to.
word.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
There's
The
just,
F
there's
slur,
you
the
can
R
never
slur,
quote
and the
that
N
word.
slur.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is that they said it 251 times.
Yeah.
Combined, and it's like, you say it once. I'm not even gonna say maybe, but it's also 251 times. Like at this point, like you're just flat out. This is what you do when you think no one is watching. So it's the F word. I guess the FAG word. I guess we can all say retarded though. Apparently that's fine.
That's not fine.
Yeah.
That is
Well, I'm
not
just saying,
fine.
that's not censored in here.
Yeah, but it ain't fine.
No, it's not
it's
fine.
There's a lot of
back.
people trying to make it. They're trying to make it come back. Yeah.
Well, it's come back in some younger demographics.
Right, but I don't
in
think it's okay.
2007, the Black Eyed Peas released a single called "Let's Get Retarded in Here." Yeah, there's a little good news on this. Is that the update is the New York Times is now reporting that the New York GOP is now disbanding the Young Republicans. So people have lost jobs and stuff, or had jobs rescinded on this. This is a real clusterfuck. And I think the funniest part is they end this little story about of showing little quotes being like, "Bro, if this ever if this ever had a leak, this chat would be cooked for real, or we'd be cooked for real. I'm gonna say that again. If we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real. Is how they end it.
And apparently there was may have been some extortion and blackmail of one of the people, and that's who everybody in the Republican Party is mad at, is the person who leaked it. There's no shame, no apology for what was done. It's anger at the person who leaked.
One thing I found interesting about that, what Aaron said, if this were cooked for real, they use a lot of AAVE.
Of course.
Like they all talk that way, and it's like, I don't know. To me,
sorry, you're gonna have to tell me what AAVE is.
African American Vernacular English. Good, we said it all at the same time.
Oh, okay, yeah,
yeah. So it's like
say
what
it
they
slowly
used to call. Yeah, so it's just like the way like black people talk, like.
Okay.
And so like that, saying stuff like "be fucking for real," all that.
All the cool slang in America is basically
people?
like all the cool music in America,
Yeah,
which is like basically any original cultural production. But all the original cultural production in America is mainly originated from black
and
folks.
it's crazy too, because like now they say like, "Oh, that's just like Gen Z internet speak," and it's like, no, they all stole it from black people. And then they say
spill the tea. Everything that you hear is from black people. And I
thought spill the tea was drag queens. I mean, there's black.
It was
people.
black drag queens.
There's black drag queens.
Okay,
it was black drag queens.
Here's the thing. So here's the thing.
That's
basically everything cultural like that moves us forward, that creates a world.
Led Zeppelin.
It's usually black queer culture. Black queer culture is like
specifically
where it all comes from. And then it gets disseminated and stolen and
watered down and
And but usually most of the time it's like
shows up on Jimmy Fallon,
like trans women. This is where it all comes from.
All the good stuff.
It is so fucking weird that the Nazis are now speaking like black queer trans women.
It's insane.
Spill the tea, bitch.
So just real quick, Alaska got hit with like a major typhoon. Like storm, and it caused massive flooding to the homes out there. A lot of them were being washed away into the ocean. And like, it's just been like one of the worst natural disasters ever hit Alaska. And one of the main reasons that it's so bad is because the Trump administration cut the budget by like their weather system and stuff by $20 million. So like this could have been preventable. All of this could have been like, if not preventable, like cut down so much because like, basically like the weather balloon coverage in Weather Alaska and in Western Alaska, there's been like this critical shortage of like the people who operate that. National Weather Service had like massive layoffs because of like Doge to shrink like, save
Well,
money.
they claimed it was DEI expenditure because there were too many brown people whose lives would be saved. Basically, I guess is the argument.
And guess who it hit? It's like a major indigenous population got like just slammed.
So stopping indigenous people from dying is woke. That's literally because they probably referenced native or indigenous, and they just literally Doge was using search terms to determine what they were going to cancel, and probably because it said native or indigenous somewhere in the language because of the vulnerable communities, that's why they canceled this. It was literally because it might save native people's lives. That was why it was. That's why it was canceled.
So the way they do it is they launch these balloons that track the weather, but because they had no funding and no staff and all of that stuff, there was like really no weather balloons tracking any of this. So that's why like they didn't know what was coming, and then it hit, and like all hell broke loose. They said it's got the most devastating impact against the Alaskan communities. Like that, there's videos of just homes literally being pulled out into the ocean. It's insane.
And let's also be clear: this is, there's many factors around a storm like this, but climate change is a massive amplifier here. Climate change in terms of glacial melt, in terms of erosion, in terms of all of these things. This is what climate change is bringing. So we've got an administration that cuts the funding because it's too many of the people are native and they don't care about native lives. I mean, they probably, since you can't really deport native people, I guess killing them is their solution. But also they're amplifying, they're ramping up fossil fuel production in the face of this kind of thing.
Like one of the things they said was like, this is Hurricane Katrina of Alaska.
Yeah.
And what's also worse about it is because there are a lot of these remote villages, there's no roads. So like even getting in aid, even getting in support, because at least like in New Orleans, obviously you can get there, like you can drive there. From
they didn't bother to. The problem with Katrina is they didn't bother to go there.
Yeah, but with this, there is no way to get in.
Right.
So like their roads are gone. These villages are completely cut off if they're not already submerged in water with no like relief in sight.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at some of the pictures now, and it's like you can't land anywhere if you had a plane or something like that.
Yeah.
They're airlifting people where
they're airlifting people out on helicopters. This is a major disaster. I mean, if they, I don't want to sound glib or whatever, but like, it is pretty fucking disgusting how they're just like search terming or whatever. But as soon as they fucking build some oil rigs out there, they're going to build roads and they're going to have fucking weather forecasts to protect the oil rigs.
To make sure that more communities get wiped away by runaway climate change.
Yeah, so that happened. So the storm hits, I think it was Saturday.
This is still developing,
Yeah, and it's still going.
Still people just not.
And it'll be one of those things that we won't. It'll be quite some time until we know how many people died. I mean, Katrina was.
So far, one has been confirmed dead, I think, according to the things that I'm seeing.
The only reason I heard about it was honestly indigenous social media, like because it wasn't on any of the news over the weekend, really. And then I think it was on TikTok first, and then I hopped into Twitter and saw like a lot of my native mutuals talking about it. And then it really wasn't in the news until like Sunday afternoon.
And it still doesn't get the same kind of coverage because again, even the news doesn't care. And maybe they don't want to piss off Trump by pointing, I don't know.
I mean, I'm just reading this one from Associated Press. This was posted October 15th. Yeah, so that would have been a couple of days after you're saying. Yeah. This came in over the weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. It takes a while to gather this, I guess, but yeah, you're right. I mean, not a lot of people, unfortunately, are paying attention to this story, but Thanks for bringing it up.
Yeah.
Well, I think on that bright note.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it,
Yay.
guys. Another banger. Just
another
horrors.
banger of doom.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
Thank you for listening to Doom Scroll Patrol. Like, comment, and subscribe to Undeniable Network for more content and to support our work.